Welcome back. We want to improve our program so that instead of just sending a generic email like this, I want to customize it to each individual. Imagine if we have a database of all these users, all their emails, as well as their first name. Ideally, we're able to customize the email to each specific person. So how can we do that? Well, we're going to use an HTML-based email. So we can send text emails, which just have text, like we've seen, or we can send something more dynamic, like HTML. Now, this isn't an HTML course, and it's something that we'll go into a little bit more in depth when we talk about web development. But in here, I have a very, very basic HTML document. And this HTML document just has a body where we want the content of our email to be. Now, in here, I wrote, "You just won so much money." And then with a $name. You can write whatever you want in here, but I want you to pay attention to the $, because we're going to do something neat here. We're going to actually update this to reflect a variable, a Python variable that we can substitute and customize dynamically. Now, how are we going to do that? Well, if we go back to our email, I want to introduce you to two new packages, built-in packages in Python that we can use. One is called the template or string template. So from the string module, we can import template. And what this template does, if we go to the documentation, right here, we have a string.template class. And what we're allowed to do is, as you can see here, using the $, we can substitute variables inside of text. You can see over here, if we zoom in a little bit, we have a template object with who likes what, and we can substitute these $, D with who. So who equals to Tim. We can do template who likes what equals to S, and then substitute who with Tim and what with Kang Pao. So this is going to be very, very useful. And this is what we're doing with index.html. We have a $name, and ideally we're able to update this. But we have a problem here. This is it's an HTML file. It's an index.html file. So how can we read this, convert it to a template, and substitute it? Well, we have another module that we're going to import. And this is going to be called pathlib from path. Import path. So this pathlib and this path that we import is actually very similar to something we've seen before, which is os.path. So we could have also imported the operating system OS module and used the path method, because what it allows us to do is to access this index.html file. So this is what it's going to look like. We can have an HTML variable that equals path, and then give it index.html because we're in the same folder. And this path now gives us access to index.html, and we can use the read text method on it to read it as a text, as a string. Now, I'm going to leave a resource as to why we want to use pathlib instead of os.path, mainly because we have this read text method. But there's a great article here, why you should be using pathlib versus the OS path module, that I'll link to and you can read on your own. At the end of the day, though, both of these libraries will be useful, and there's no right or wrong, just pros and cons. So we have this string, but now we want to update so that the name variable will be something custom. So what we're going to do is wrap this in template. So it becomes a template object. That's it. So we have this HTML that is a template. And if you remember, once we have this template string, we can use the dot substitute to give it, well, what we want to substitute it with. So instead of setting content like this, instead, I'm going to change this and say, I want HTML dot substitute to equal name, which is, remember, the variable over here, to have it equal, let's go with Tintin. And by the way, this substitute can have multiple parameters. So we can do it with keyword arguments, or we can even do it as a dictionary, like this. So we can say name will be Tintin, and then we can add multiple variables if this HTML file had multiple variables. Multiple, maybe name, age, maybe a greeting, whatever we want. So let's leave it like that. Let's save here and see if this works. I'm going to send once again. And this time around, I want to actually send it to my Gmail account. So we'll actually blur this out so you don't see my personal email address. All right. All good, boss. It looks like we didn't get any errors. Now let's check my Gmail account. Hey, look at that. Under important and unread, mind you, for you, you might get it in your spam folder. I have an email for myself saying, hey, I just won $1,000. Oh, and the last thing we need to do when we substitute is we have to tell it, hey, this set content is going to be HTML. So the way we do that is in the second parameter, we say this is going to be HTML. So it's not text like it was before. It's going to be HTML, so parse it accordingly and set content accordingly. So if I save this and we run, looks like we didn't get any errors. That's good. And if we go back to the Gmail client, hey, looks like I have a message that I've won $1 million. That's really great. Mind you, for yourself, you might find this in your spam folder. So again, make sure you check your email. Otherwise, if I click on this, look at that. You just won so much money, Tintin. How cool is that? So just like that, we're able to programmatically send emails, customized emails. Now, there's many applications of this. Maybe anytime a customer buys a product from your company, you want to send them a personal email, a greeting, saying, hey, thanks for buying our product. Or maybe you want to get yourself a reminder where every morning you send yourself an email saying, hey, get up and tidy your bed. There are so many applications. This is the cool part about Python, right? You can do anything you want. The world is your oyster. So hopefully this was exciting because we have a lot more in the next video.